Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
Welcome back to the On Deck podcast, everybody, on a Monday morning, most likely, that you're listening to this, a post-football Monday. So I hope everyone's weekend was great, better than mine, betting, at least this weekend. So, but you hear my voice first. I am Scott Bogman. You follow me on the Twitter, at Bogman Sports. I am joined by Chris Welsh, at Is It The Welsh, because Bubba took a day off. How dare Bubba take a day off?
What's he doing?
Yeah, he's just being too busy for everybody else.
End of the season, you can't just maybe he deserves a day. Maybe
yeah. I mean, I think he's been because I've missed a couple days here, and he's been on the show every single day. He was Cal Ripken until this broke his streak. So I guess he's Craig Biggio instead. So but he is not here with us. But remember, please check out LineStar in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. Check it out. It is the #1 tool for your DFS needs. And it's not just baseball. It's football. It's basketball. I mean, it's every sport you could possibly want to play. It's on there. Please check it out. If you guys would, please drop us a 5-star rate and review. And then if you have constructive criticism, if it's under a 5-star, we'll take it, please. So that would be great. But this weekend, the Welsh, there was a lot going on. Obviously, there's a little bit of fireworks in that Sunday night game. Lindor pimped a home run. Giancarlo Stanton didn't take too kindly. So when he hit his, he let him know about it. Our boy Seth Beer came up and hit a bomb in his first at bat. So I know everyone gets annoyed when I talk D-backs here, but got to talk a little D-backs when.
How about also the Blue Jays dropping 22 on?
Yeah, they're like, we don't have a football team, but we'll put up 3 touchdowns today.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Fine.
I'd throw out to you. I had a little 2-game parlay going this weekend, and I had the Blue Jays 1.5 on Sunday, and that murdered. I was great. And then the other one, I was sweating. I felt this is so good because it was Patino and Scuba. It was Detroit and the Rays. And those guys gave up 3 runs through the first 7 innings and then imploded in the 8th. And I had the over at 9 runs. And I got that baby done in the 8th and got my 2-team parlay with both of those. So boom, boom.
Boom, boom. And look, Max Scherzer took a perfect game in the 8th. The other day, so it was an eventful weekend, but it's daily. Those are the saying is gone like yesterday, right, Welsh?
Yep.
Those gone. It is.
What have you done for me lately?
That's right. We're looking forward to Monday. Today, there's a 7-game slate, and we start out with Miami at Washington. This one is Sandy Alcantara versus Paulo Espino. Alcantara is coming in at 9,600 and 10.8 between DK and FanDuel, 6,100 and 7.7 for Espino on FanDuel and DraftKings, and the over-under on this game is 7. So we're not expecting a lot of hitting going on here. Juan Soto does have some pretty good PVB data against Alcantara. He is 8 for 19 with 2 bombs. That's a 421 average. That's pretty solid, but he is expensive at 61 and 4,400. Some other hot guys that I like in this game, Welsh. Brian De La Cruz has been pretty good. He's a cheap option. Jazz Chisholm has started to heat up a little bit. Jesus Sanchez hit a homer over this weekend. Lewis Brinson. On the Washington side, there's not much to like. Keyboom's nice and cheap. Luis Garcia has been hitting. He's cheap. Maybe Josh Bell. Do you like some of these batters? Do you like either pitcher in this game?
I like Sandy Alcantara. I don't. Espino gave up 5 earned runs in the last. I love Alcantara kind of in general, but probably my favorite hitter of any of these, if you're looking for the cheap play. And I think it is one of, it looks like it's the number 2 projected if you go onto LineStar, and there's no shock about it. It's Lane Thomas, who's been leading off for the Nationals. And he's put up, 17, fantasy points in the last 5 games. I love the leadoff there. I love the amount of at-bats, even though I like Alcantara in this. So if I was playing at anything, 3,300 on, was it 3,300 on FanDuel, 2,300 on DK, or maybe it's swapped. I think it's swapped there. Lane Thomas and Alcantara would be plays I like.
Yeah, Alcantara is I have 4 main pitchers and 2 secondary guys. Espino, you know what? I'm going to cut it down to one secondary guy because I liked Espino, but Miami started to pick it up a little bit over the last 2 days. So I think I'm going to take him off my list, but I do like Alcantara here. He's just a little expensive. The next game we go to is Tampa Bay at Toronto. Ryan Yarbrough throwing for Tampa Bay, coming at 66 and 64 on DK and FanDuel. Manoah 8,500 and 9,000 for Toronto. The over/under on this game is 9.5. As far as the pitchers go, Yarbrough gave up 7 his last time out, so I'm going to pass on him. Alek Manoah, though, he hasn't been at his best. This price at 8,500, though, it's just a little too tempting for me. I love his strikeout upside, even though, like I said, he hasn't been getting it. He hasn't been at his best. But 8,500, it's like a lure that I can't not go after. I'm like, I know this is bad. I know I shouldn't bite this lure, but I like it too much. I'm going to bite it every single time. If it's less than 9,000 for Alek Manoah, I love it. And then, of course, whatever bats you want. Not a lot of PVB data here, but Marcus Semien, Teoscar Hernandez, Vlad Jr., my son, Alejandro Kirk has been good. Lourdes Gurriel, Bo Bichette, Randall Grichuk. You guys know, I mean, the Blue Jays are all crazy expensive most of the time.
Yeah. But like on Sunday, worth it.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Right, exactly. So 22 runs. Unbelievable. Nelson Cruz has been super hot, and he's not crazy expensive, although he's expensive, 5,300, 4,200. Jordan Luplow has been good. Randy Arozarena, Brandon Lau, always in play. Who do you like in this game? Are you with me on, like, just Manoah is just too good? You have to bite it?
I'm actually not. I don't particularly. I mean, I get what you're saying, and he's had those ups and downs, but he's only put up 6 total strikeouts in his last 2 starts. He's gotten lit up a little bit, just a tiny bit. I think he had a little 3-1 lead that got let go, but he's gone 5 in his last 2, 5 and then 5 2/3, only 6 strikeouts between them. He's getting hit up a little bit more. You're also talking about innings limits for, these guys. These guys have never hit these type of innings, and Manoah specifically hasn't. So I don't, because I also like the hot bats of Tampa Bay. Manny Margot would actually be one hitting second that I kind of dig, and he's a pretty good projected value if you're looking on the LineStar app as well. Top 25% hitter versus righties. So give me a little bit of Margot. I really like the Nelson Cruz line, and I would, even though it's a little tempting, I would move away from Manoah and I look at this and I'm like, man, I kind of want to hit the over on this. If I were just betting the game as well. 9.5 is a big number, but Toronto just put up 22 and Manoah can give them up. So both these guys a little volatile.
I think kind of want it.
I kind of want it.
The next game we go to here, St. Louis with Adam Wainwright, 9,000 and 9,800 DK and FanDuel. Rich Hill, 7,100 and 7,500 for the Mets in this game. And look, I mean, Wainwright just is unstoppable now.
You want a number here?
I mean,
he has 8 wins in his last 9 starts. 8 wins in his last 9 starts, 14 innings, 8 strikeouts with a 3 ERA and a sub-1 WHIP with 2 wins in the last 14 days. And you ask me, hey, do I like Manoah at that? What was it, 8,500 to 9,000 price? No, because Personally, I'd rather go with Wainwright with how dominant he's been at that 9,000, 9,800, pay for just a tiny bit more up on him. Especially also you have, night game, Lindor, all that craziness. I kind of like Wainwright more.
Yeah, I'm with you. Wainwright is definitely one of my guys. And it's just, I feel like he's going to turn into a pumpkin at some point and give up 9, but he just keeps not doing it. And it's not going to happen against the Mets.
His last start was worse from the
I think he gave up 4, right? It wasn't quality finally.
It was against the Dodgers, and he went 8 1/3 of an inning. He went 8 innings against the Dodgers. No, man. He's too much of a streak. Mets have been kind of wild all across the board. I like Wainwright.
There's little PVB data on both sides here. 3 for 5 for Pete Alonso with 2 doubles against Wainwright. 3 for 10 for Kevin Pillar with a bomb against him. Paul Goldschmidt is 9 for 19 with a homer against Rich Hill. 3 for 8 for Nolan Arenado with a bomb. And then we have other guys that have been hot. Baez, Lindor, obviously going yard on Sunday Night Baseball. Conforto, VR, Tyler O'Neill, and Yadier Molina. Do you like any of those bats or anybody else in this one?
I like the Goldie. I like the Goldie play. I like the PVP 474. Give me Goldie in that one. As far as the other side, I mean, I think Wainwright's going to do some damage. I mean, Tyler O'Neill's kind of cheap if I'm just looking at that one.
If you like Wainwright, you're allowed to be off Mets bats. I mean, you haven't mentioned one anyway. So
I don't really like a lot of the prices on them, and I'm just looking at some of the other cheaper prices. That's with the Cardinals. Yeah, no, I probably avoid most of the Mets bats. Maybe, Goldie and Tyler O'Neill putting a little bit of a stack with Wainwright. Maybe
I'll like that. Okay. Next game here is Houston at Texas. Jake Odorizzi at 76 and 8,300. Alexi is a cheap option at 6,700 on both. The over in this game is 9. I got to tell you, I know Odorizzi got pulled early last time, and he said it was bull S and all that stuff. I love that fire. I love that Texas strikes out all the time. So he is going to be one of my favorite plays because he's not overpriced either. 76 and 8,300. And Alexi, I mean, the cheaper he is, the less brave you have to feel to put him out there against Houston. I doubted him when Bubba wanted him, and he went nuts. And the next time I'm like, all right, I'm in. But he wasn't playing Houston in either one of those games. So
Colorado and the Angels were his 2 starts.
Yeah. So, I mean, Houston hasn't been, they didn't just put up 3 touchdowns like Toronto, but they're still at any point they can strike. So it kind of makes me nervous, but I think he's a good secondary option. So I will have him as my one secondary guy, but I like Odorizzi more.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. And Odorizzi, he's not going deep into games, but he's been solid through his last 4.
This might be the game too after calling out Dusty.
And to me, this is the game where we get the 6. And I think there's a little tee off. I mean, maybe I'm truly not giving the credit where credit's due for Alexi. I just remember seeing him back in the minor leagues and like in the backfields with the Rangers and everything like that. I'm just not a full believer in this continuing on. Give me Kyle Tucker in this one. Maybe give me Alex Bregman if I wanted to play it, but Tucker would probably be my major play in here. And actually, I like Odorizzi as my secondary pitcher off of Wainwright.
Yeah, I mean, he's cheap enough to be a secondary guy for sure.
Yeah.
Little PVB against Odorizzi, 3 for 10 for our boy IKF, and then hot bats on both sides for Houston. It's like you said, Bregman, Altuve, Tucker, Carlos Correa. Yuli Gurriel has been crazy good, but they're all expensive, and Gurriel is the most expensive on DK, at least 5,700. He's actually the cheapest on FanDuel at 3,000. So if you can get Yuli on FanDuel, absolutely do it. For Texas, it's Yanni Hernandez. I mean, DJ Peters is cheap, and he might go deep. 26.
What he does, if he's going to do something, he's going to go deep.
I got to tell you how much better Nathaniel Lowe has been than Nate Lowe. He's been so much better than Nate Lowe. It's unbelievable. And he is 3,900 and 3,300. Leody Taveras has been hitting as well, and he's cheap at 2,400 and 2,500. So if you're not going with Odorizzi, I do maybe like a cheap stack of Texas bats so you can get some more expensive ones in there, like maybe some Blue Jays or something. But
I like
for the most
idea of
part,
getting some Blue Jays in there too.
Right. Yeah, they're just all crazy expensive. But Jake Odorizzi, definitely in play. We also go to the next game here. We don't have an over on this, but it's San Diego with Darvish at San Francisco with Desclafani. Darvish is 9,300, 9,200. Back on track last time out. Desclafani 8,300 and 7,800. And I got to tell you with the pitchers here, Welsh, Darvish looked like he's back on track. I think I'm willing to pay this much for him. Desclafani, I don't want anything to do with.
And what is it too? Because what did we say? Wainwright was 9,000 and 9,600. So that's the same site. You can get Darvish for cheaper than Wainwright. And I think is that FanDuel? That might be FanDuel's price.
Yeah.
I think I might go. I mean, San Francisco, though, it's tricky. It is tricky, but I like the Darvish play too, especially if you want to have a strikeout play. So yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Maybe even, pending your prices, can you stack Darvish and Wainwright?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, especially if you want with like that Texas stack of cheap guys. I think you can make that happen for sure. But look, there's some PVB data here against both these guys, and Darvish is risky. Crawford is 3 for 10 with a double and a bomb against him, 3 for 11 for Posey with a homer against him, but they haven't been hitting. Obviously, Scherzer just went ham against him. Eric Hosmer broke up that Perfecto bid.
Also, not like heavy PVB data. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
not heavy. It's like sub 300s with that huge sample sizes. Plus the Giants are struggling a little bit. I don't know. It's making me like Darvish more.
Darvish isn't in his best frame of mind right now. That's all, but I think because of that, I mean, he's still going to be insanely high owned because it's 7-game slate, but it's not as much as it usually would be, and his price is lower. So pretty good option tonight. Other guys that have been hitting, Fernando Tatis, whenever you want to play him, and Machado. Hosmer obviously broke up the no-hit bid at 3,200, 2,700. But San Francisco has been hitting a little better. Belt, Longoria, Wade, Mike Yastrzemski, Wilmer Flores went deep the other day, 2,300. He's a nice option. So there's some good options if you aren't going with Darvish, but I think Darvish and Wainwright are my favorite too. If I had to pick one, I would take Darvish for the strikeout upside.
Yeah, I think I might be going the same direction too. Just, give me a little bit of confidence, give me heavy strikeouts. If he's rolling, he's going to go deeper into a game. San Diego's playing for their life. So yeah, I think I agree with you on that.
Before we hit the last 2 games here, I just want to remind everybody to hit up the LineStar app. You can find it. You follow them on Twitter at LineStar app, and we're going to make home run calls at the end of the night here. And if they hit, you win some swag. So please do that. Check
By
that
the way,
out.
Their swag is the best. Their LineStar shirt, I've told those guys, I rock their LineStar shirt everywhere. It's my favorite shirt. Like, I've got like these thin shirts, we do in this league, and it's got thin. I love their shirts. I've got their hat. I got their
coffee mug is huge too.
It's the best. It really is.
I don't drink coffee, but if I liked a lot of coffee in the morning, I would go with that bad boy because it is really big. So
I agree.
So please check them out there and check it, Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Check out the app. It is awesome. It is a really, really great resource. Welsh has been using it during the show. So the next game here is our Diamondbacks, the Welsh, with Gallen at the Dodgers for Kershaw, 8,100 for Gallen on both sides. The over's 8 here, by the way. And then Kershaw's expensive, 10-4 and 10-9. And Kershaw, I think, went less than 50 pitches in his most recent rehab start. And I just as a rule, I don't want guys coming off the IL. So I think I made an exception for Lance Lynn one time, but that's it, and he was on for like 10 days or something, or like contact tracing, something like that. I would be okay, but I just don't want any part of Kershaw. But Gallen, I kind of like, Dodgers lineup. This is a huge contrarian play because the Dodgers lineup is stacked and rough. But if you wanted to try and sneak him in there in the tournament, GPP something, I'm about Gallen, but he's not going to be on my short list. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm not, as much as I love Gallen, I'm not Gallen in this situation with the Dodgers. And he's also been a little bit finicky on the back half of the year. But, to be honest with you, I think one of the things you can look at too is it's sneaky, that line at 8 with both of these pitchers. We've seen lower lines with 2 studs that I'm not sure there's supreme confidence on both sides. I still like the Darvish and Wainwright over both of these plays. Yeah,
I'm 100% with you on that. As far as the bats go, Mookie Betts 3 for 6 with a bomb off of Gallen. David Peralta has been hitting pretty well. Dalton Varsho, if Seth Beer is in there, he's 2,000 and 2,200. Got to make sure because they were DHing him against Seattle this weekend, but going back home, or at least in an NL park here, not going to get that chance. On the Dodgers side, obviously, Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Will Smith, whoever on the Dodgers side. What bats do you like in this game?
I liked Mookie, like you said. I would get in on Corey Seager. And if you really want to play crazy cheap on lefty Kershaw, I don't hate the Henry Ramos play.
Okay.
I mean, he's one of the
2,000 and 2,100. That's a great buy.
I hate to pick up just on I'm looking at FanDuel's on LineStar. I just noticed it is their number 1 value coming in today. It's a number 1 value with a just under 10 projected points. But he can kill lefties, and Kershaw hasn't been at his best. I don't know. 11-year minor league vet. If I wanted to go super, super cheap, again, if you're paying up, maybe you're paying, the 2 high pitchers, maybe you want to get a few of those Blue Jays guys in and you want to throw a dart in, throw me in Henry Ramos.
He's ranked just above Crash Davis on the LineStar app, I believe. So the last game of the night that we have here, Boston at Seattle. That's Eduardo Rodriguez at 8,800, 8,500 versus Logan Gilbert at 6,700, 7,000. The over-under on this game is 8. I'm just going to go ahead and stay away from each of these pitchers. Rodriguez got blown out in his last start. Gilbert, fewer than 5 innings pitched in 4 of his last 5 starts. So I'm just going to be bats here. Either one of these pitchers intrigue you at all, Welsh?
Nope, it's going to be a pass. Logan Gilbert's been wishy-washy, and same thing with Rodriguez. That might be a fun, also betting the over set at 8. That might be a good game to hit that.
Gonna be a no for me, dog. Just
gonna be a
here.
big no for me, dog.
Bobby Dahlbeck, still cheap, 31, 2,900. Goodbye here.
Hunter, much like Bobby Dahlbeck.
Hunter Renfroe, 4,000, 3,900 has been good. Verdugo has been solid as well. You know, everyone that doesn't actually have COVID for Boston, I guess, would be in play. On the Seattle side, JP Crawford has been good, but he's starting to get a little priced up at 44 and 34. Seager, Toro, Tom Murphy, Ty France have all been hitting as well. You like any bats on the Seattle side?
On the Seattle side, I like Toro, but I'm probably staying away from, even though I think there's going to be offense, I'm having a hard time pinpointing like where I want to go. Maybe Kyle Seager, but I think he's maybe priced a little bit high. Kyle Seager, Toro, those would be 2 plays in there. I feel like I would be leaning a little bit more on the Boston side.
All right. So
maybe Bobby Dahlbeck, Hunter Renfroe. I think those are 2 guys I like on this. Bobby Dahlbeck.
Bobby Dahlbeck's my dog.
I want to play him this week. Tomorrow.
All right, so going back over it, or next week,
or forever. I interviewed him, by the way, and he's from U of A, so I love him.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Our boy Chad loves him.
Yeah.
Now, just looking back at the slate, the pitchers that I like here, Darvish is my 1, Wainwright's my 2. I would say Odorizzi 3, Alcantara 4, and then a cheap option of AJ Alexy. Who would you say that you like as far as pitchers go on this slate?
I'll go Darvish 1, Wainwright 2, Alcantara 3. Those are my top 3. And if I wanted to pay up a little bit, if I wanted to play it safer, I might go Wainwright, Alcantara.
And then for stacks, I would say that I kind of like Boston against Seattle a little bit with some of these cheaper guys.
Agreed.
Bobby Dahlbeck, maybe if Danny Santana is in the lineup. The same thing if you're not going to go with Odorizzi, a cheap stack of maybe some of these Rangers hitters, maybe like a 3-man stack in St. Louis of Goldie, Arenado, and Tyler O'Neill. Anytime you want to stack and you can afford to stack Toronto, I'm good with it. Is there any other game that you like to stack here?
I'd say on the opposite. I mean, I know you like Manoah, but like if you can't afford to stack Toronto, I might be willing to stack a little bit of Tampa Bay. I might jump in there. I might just stack that game as well. So I think you pinpointed the right one. St. Louis, I like Boston, and then Toronto or Tampa Bay would both be plays.
All right. Now the moment we've all been waiting for, the home run call of the day. Remember, once again, follow the LineStar app at LineStar app on Twitter. Like and retweet the tweet. And you may be picked to follow along with me and the Welsh and Ryan Humphreys to win some free swag. So who do you got for a homer tonight, Welsh?
Bogman, I am going to go with my guy, Bobby Dahlbeck. Logan Gilbert only gave up a 251 batting average against righties, but 260 against lefties. Dahlbeck doesn't quite have the batting average against righties, but he's on a hot streak right now. Last 2 weeks, hitting 277 with 5 homers. And Logan Gilbert in 20 starts or 20 games has given up 14 homers, 10 of those against right-handed hitters. So give me Bobby Dahlbeck.
Love that. I'm just trying to win people free stuff at the end of the year. There's a big stretch where I didn't get any. I've been getting more because I've been going a little bit more chalky. But give me Vlad Jr. Let's win some people some stuff. Give me Vladdy Daddy. I want him to go yard again to win some stuff. So like I said, thank you for listening. Please check out the LineStar app, Google Play Store, Apple App Store. At Is It The Welsh for the Welsh, at Bogman Sports for me. And Bubba will be back with us tomorrow, and we will see you then. Take it easy, everybody.
Later.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.